Yo, yo, yo. We testing. This is the post show with Big K and Big Cozy.
Turn up, you gon' make me turn up.
You see the vibe. She hit the gym, she looking nice. Put all that bullshit aside.
Hey everyone.
What's happening?
I'm Kekeli. I'm here with the post show interview. And today, one of my great friends, but also like an amazing artist. I don't even know, artist, vocalist, like what do we even call you at this point? What do we even call you at this point?
You can call me the biggest man.
We're here with the big Cozy, the biggest. Okay, we're here with the post show interview. You already know this is the show to highlight all the creative processes of artists and everything that makes them artists. Encompasses everything that they do. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of times artists are not regarded in the same esteem as athletes. Like y'all perform at very high levels. Y'all create things out of thin air. Like y'all deserve y'all flowers. And this is what we're here for. And if we can help a creative discover their creative side, here we go. We're here with the biggest of Cozy, the biggest of coziest. I feel great. You know, like it's very important for me to not only connect with artists, but like you're my friend too. You know what I'm saying? So this hits a little different for me, and I'm very excited to sit down with you and really like talk about this. We sat down before, but we back at it. Yeah. You know, we bumped it up a little bit. Right. We done worked on a few things. Right. You done worked on a few things.
A couple little things.
A lot of things. Let's not make it small. Let's yeah. So first of all, last time we sat down, you worked on a lot of new things. So how do you feel within yourself as like an artist right now? Like, are you proud of your progression? How do you feel?
Like it's been super aligned. It's felt comfortable. At the same time, I've been pushed out of my comfort zone. I put myself out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? So the comfort just comes from feeling aligned with, you know, where I am, where I was, where I see myself going. But yeah, it's also like a new territory, more or less. So there's a learning curve that comes with that. There's a lot of new situations, new people. You know, I'm wearing new hats all the time. So yeah, I mean, but it's fun. I mean, it feels like exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So it doesn't actually feel like work or like labor. It's like, oh, now that the purpose is behind it, I just kind of go on autopilot, and I'm loving every second. It just flows for sure.
Isn't that what like really being your purpose is? Like, it doesn't feel difficult. It doesn't feel hard. Like it's just like it just flows because that's just what it is. I love that.
Yeah, I don't even have to think twice about it. This is exactly what I would be doing with my time otherwise. So
I love that. I pray that we all like start walking in our purpose, because I know what it's like to just be searching, trying to figure out like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? So like, that's what I pray for everybody, that everyone really just like discovers their purpose and really like walks in that. Like, that's something I pray for every day. Like, for God to really use me as a vessel to walk in my purpose and, you know, connect with people. And
you're doing that right now in this moment, bro. Like, I'm so proud of you. Before we get into the questions on some real shit.
Thank you.
Because they're gonna think that you're just saying that, oh, we're friends. It's like, no, I really care about this person, and she's like showed love. And when we weren't friends, when we didn't know each other, you in support.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
I'm very proud of you. That's all I want.
I appreciate you. You already know, like, I would not be sitting right here with you if I didn't have like a high regard and high esteem and high respect for you. So I appreciate you.
That's love.
All right. So you said things have pivoted for you. You know, you a little bit more solid at where you at right now. Yeah. So just talk to us a little bit about your creative process. Like, has that adjusted? Has that changed? Like, what does that look like for you? Do you sit down? Do you write things down? Like, what does your creative process look like?
I definitely need to write things down more. You know, I want to incorporate more like physical mediums and stuff, and like just to get ideas out of my brain when I'm not always like recording.
Yeah.
But my process right now is very much inspiration based. I just been pulling from the universe. Like, my imagination is still very vibrant, and I'm just enjoying the fact that I wake up every day, you know, with a wealth of inspiration to pull from, whether it's from my immediate environment, whether it's from, like, I dead ass be trying to finish a bar and like I see a fucking water bottle and it's like water something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
just takes
I
you
just
to the
I
next.
just try to like flex that muscle in my brain of, you know, how can I make what I have at my disposal work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very much just like spur of the moment. I follow my gut a lot. I trust my taste now at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really do feel confident in what happens when I follow through all the way with my taste in that way. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Spitballing on some artists, you know, just, you know,
Yeah.
pulling from the universe, like Pharrell said, you know what I'm saying? Checking out ideas. Shit.
You just, hey, you got the whole, you just already know what's going on right now.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
It's okay.
Damn.
All right. All right. But it's good. It's good. We on the same. We on the same.
That's all.
Yeah, man. We tapped in.
Great minds.
So, like I said, like, you're more than an artist. I feel like you're a vocalist. You are a producer. You might as well call you an engineer too.
Nah, definitely. On the boards.
Yeah. So like we said, we was going to touch on this. Like you and your brother Sukami, also a very amazing artist. That's my man. Love him.
Right now, he's like hustler of the year. So he's
okay.
He icing his knees and shit right now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see him soon too.
All right.
Especially on the
yeah. He's gonna be on here too. So y'all look out for Sukami. We gonna interview him as well. So. Y'all started off as, first of all, y'all just have the voice of, what is it, Fergie and Baby Jesus. Y'all just are blessed with like voices that are just out of this world. Okay, like it's like y'all were made for this. Honestly, like y'all were made for this.
It feels that way for sure.
For real, like anyway. So y'all started on Breaking Bread, and that was a podcast. That was y'all using your vocals to talk to people and connect to people through, you know, just like conversation. And then from there, y'all went from there to all of a sudden now y'all rapping. Now y'all serenading folks on a song.
Yeah, we was tired of talking to niggas about what they was doing, and I'm like, nigga, we can do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also create music too. You also create beats. You also write music. So like, how did that progression happen for y'all? Like, did you already know that this is kind of where you wanted to go? Or?
I never really had an intention. Like as a kid, I was always cool with being a consumer, right? Like I love music, and when you're black, you're just born in music. You don't really find music, you know what I'm saying? So it's always been a part of our life and our upbringing, you know what I'm saying? I think specifically when it came from pivoting between the podcast and the music, it was more so, you know, like COVID, bro. Like COVID stopped our production. We had a team,
COVID.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was crazy. Like we threw events, you know what I'm saying? And once we couldn't like organize anymore, and the production value had to change. You had to pivot in a different direction. Just the opportunity, it just didn't feel the same as it used to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we wanted to continuously deliver a certain type of product. So, in kind of taking a step back to reassess how we were gonna recreate the show, you know, we just started experimenting with other outlets. You know what I'm saying? And I can speak for myself. This, like, my artistry definitely spawned from having trouble, you know, being isolated in my room. Like, I was very intimidated by that alone time, that solitude. Like, not like now. Like, now I'm so grateful for my journey because, like, that is why I have the, like, knowledge of self and self-love and the composure and the individuality and the self-image that I have now. But, you know, COVID had to happen to like
COVID has happened. People had never sat with themselves. They had never sat with their family. They had never sat with their thoughts. Like COVID was really an opportunity for people to really sit down and like look at what's really going on. So I mean, I'm grateful. It was scary though.
No, it was like I got cabin fever very quickly. Like, I was going crazy, you know what I'm saying?
I think we all did.
Yeah, one day I was just like, bro, like this is the perfect time to like not only pick up a skill, but you know, just dive inward again.
Yeah,
Fuck
facts.
It's like little me, like my inner child.
Yeah.
To do, and I've always wanted to. I low key like I started making little beats and shit in like the 10th grade, and like never picked it back up. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, damn, I can show up and do this thing every day. And lo and behold, you know, COVID was like a hyperbolic time chamber, like for all the Dragon Ball fans. You know what I'm saying? The time don't pass outside as it does on the inside.
Yeah.
So in my room, I felt like I was moving at like hyper speed, like learning very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, the learning curve was I was just shooting up. And yeah, because it hasn't been that long, but like my shit sound how it sound now, and I'm doing this shit by myself.
Yeah.
So I clearly had to learn something along the way.
Yeah,
It was great to lock in on that.
Definitely. So. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So now that you wear all these different hats, would you say that you're one over the other, or have you accepted that like you just like a lot of different things and that's okay?
What is Kanye West?
An artist.
What else?
A fashion designer.
What else?
Shoe designer. Oh, I mean, I guess that's fashion.
That is fashion. So like, if I kept asking you this for like 5 minutes, you could.
There's hella things that, yeah, you're right.
And then there's his answer, which would be like a way bigger, like all encompassing.
Right.
I am a god.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go full yay, but I'm a student of Kanye West.
Right.
We have to put respect on
we
his
have
name.
to. We have to. We have to. We have to.
So
okay.
I refuse to marginalize. To even that word, I was like, isn't that crazy? You can't even say marginalize.
That's crazy.
No bullshit. Like I just don't really have a ceiling or like a box or a label for what I do and what I plan on doing. Is just all of it is creation. All of it is just transmuting that energy and that impulse into something physical. And yeah, I mean, I love making music. I love being in service to the art, whatever that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's, you know, directing visuals for the homies, executive producing projects, you know, just being on hand the day of a photo shoot and fucking bringing niggas donuts, like engineering,
just
the vocals,
being part of the creativity, whatever, no matter what that looks like.
Whatever needs to get done. I'm glad to say that I have a little bit of experience enough to contribute in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? Because it really is about service at the end of the day for me when it comes to the music shit. Like I'm doing this for me a lot, but I also love the experience that I get and like the extra. Like you get a whole bunch of extra like XP, like when you step outside
that's
project.
a fact.
So I'm trying to work as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning new shit every day. So it's like, catch me next week, nigga. It's gonna be another level again. You know what I'm saying? So we do it all. I'm the biggest, man.
I really think we need to spend a little bit more time on this because, like, I feel like a lot of times it's like you have to call yourself one thing or you have to focus on one thing, but it's like, why? Why do we have to focus on one thing? Why can't we be, what is it called, multi-hyphenate? Like, or like, what is it about that like, why do we have to pick one thing? And
I think it's safe, it's conventional, you know what I'm saying? And people are scared. People are also operating out of, you know, they're like limited. All of our perspectives are limited, including my own. This is the thing, right? Art exists all around us, number one. And number two, if the reason why one can even like experience or like create in different mediums is because they're just following wherever the inspiration is taking them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's been a very easy thing for me to do, to where, I might not be like the best clothing designer today, but I have an idea that I know, okay, once I feel like jumping into that, I have a point to start, and I'm going to feel motivated to actually go through the process of learning. You know what I'm saying? It's like on some Gemini shit. Like people are talking about, like, why is Kendrick so fucking sick? Right? And it's a very simple equation. We don't even go too crazy into that conversation. Shout out Kendrick Lamar.
My goat. That's
motherfucking. But yeah, so when you have that like delusion, and then you also have that obsessive, right, persistence to actually go do the thing, get nice at the thing, take pride in the thing, take ownership, right? Like that's what Geminis do. That's all Tupac.
That's a fact, though.
Yeah, so that's my birthday. It's Tupac's birthday.
But I feel like that's literally the equation for success.
It
Like,
is.
you low-key have to be delusional, but you also have to be like obsessed with it in a way that like you pour into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just get like a great output. I feel like that might be the equation for success.
Yeah, I have a book for you on that, actually. The last book I read was called Grit by Angela Duckworth. And
I feel like I heard of that.
You probably have. It's about when passion meets perseverance. So she defines grit as that intersection between passion, perseverance, and purpose. So being aligned with what you say you want to do for yourself, right?
Need
the
that.
passion is like, okay, it needs to be like, you know, what you feel called to do.
Yeah.
And then the perseverance is like, you have to see that shit through.
You have to.
She like uses, it's mostly like athletes and stuff in the book. She cites LeBron James. I think Katie Ledecky, like the swimmer, was also one of the subjects to where it's like, you can tell that these people feel like they're walking in their calling.
Yeah. Grit, perseverance. You need all of that.
Yes.
It's the recipe for success. Yeah. Literally, you got to be a little bit delusional, but you got to also be obsessed with this shit. You got to really lock in. And if this is really what you want to do, like, you got to have that vision, whether people see it or not.
Oh, I've definitely gotten used to niggas not seeing the fucking vision, bro. And
but I feel like that's the hard part, though. I feel like it's either that's what stops you, or once you get past that, it's like, I don't know if I even need you around no more for real.
You know what I'm saying? And it all comes back down to why you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
I think that I've positioned myself in a way to where it's been easy to continuously show up for the same reason. I think I started making music, like I said, in COVID, because I had, trouble being alone, being by myself.
Yeah.
And it became like a safe space to like create music in that way, you know what I'm saying? And that also made it so that whatever I did make, I loved like automatically. I was like, damn, the fact that I'm even, again, bringing something from the ether into the real world, and it has me written all over it, literally. Like, I don't know. That shit just makes me feel empowered. It makes me feel seen. And I'm seeing myself at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So that being my point of entry into creating music in this way is so rewarding that I haven't really sought any other reward from the shit. And it's very easy to keep showing up for that reason.
Yeah.
It feels like medicine. My man, shout out Drew. Shout out my man. I mean, not Drew. Deadstock Dev, excuse me. Because Drew is another homie that is coming on the next shit. I'm teasing shit low key. Damn, my brain just did a thing. Shout out Deathstock Dev. Def always says that you gotta take your medicine. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely feels like medicine. So because it's healing. It's healing for the show. So it's easy to show up for that. You know
definitely. And that's one thing that, like, as creatives, like, I just really want us to acknowledge, like, you literally have an idea. That literally did not exist before you pulled it out of thin air and brought it here into this space. Like, do you really like understand like the magnitude of that? Like, do you really like, because not everybody has that gift. Not everybody has that even like drive to like, I see something and I don't know if anybody else sees it, but I'm gonna bring it over here. And like, history will never be the same because of what you brought over here.
Or it might also be repeating itself. Like, you never know. I do tend to think that there's nothing new under the sun.
You think so?
I do, honestly. And I think that because of our perspective is so limited, we be seeing shit as like, damn, this is unprecedented. But like, low-key, there was a precedent. And you just have to like, once we start broadening our horizons a bit more, like, I'm sure there's shit that like I think is mad novel and new and like whatever. And I think there is still a novelty to it because I'm taking whatever I'm influenced by and putting my specific spin on it. So to your point, we are, doing some new fresh ass shit. So yeah, don't worry. I agree with you. But I also know history does tend to repeat itself, and I think it's to our advantage to know. That's why you have to study the greats. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a cliche thing to say. It's like, no, see what has been done to even educate your decisions so that what you are contributing is actually building off of something that has been proven to be impactful. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
There's never been a me before before. It's never been a you. So that's the new part for sure.
Yeah.
That's very significant. So I want to reemphasize that.
Yeah. Speaking of greats, you are surrounded by a lot of creatives.
Yeah.
A lot of amazing people.
Yeah.
Like, just to name a few, like, we got Alex Vaughn, we got Manny Wells, we got Sukami himself. Like, that's lit. Like, you got Eddie, you got, like, you got so many people, like, around you. Like, how important is it to, like, one, surround yourself with other creatives, but also, like, how important is it for you to, like, learn from them as like your friends and like close proximity?
Yeah, it's a blessing, honestly, man. It's, you know, community has always been like one of my biggest priorities. And I think moving away and being in a couple different cities now has reinforced how important it is to take advantage of your community and not take it for granted. I could definitely say that my growth has been, you know, exponentially, you know, like fast tracked because of who I have around me, the examples I have around me. When it comes to producers, shout out Ave Harris. He's out of Baltimore. J.C. and Nole, they're in London. Shout out my man Tango. You know, I'm just thinking random names. Shout out actually the homies on the project, Love Avenue and Sean Dreamer. They live in Texas with me. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's just like hooping. And that's a part of the great conversation too. A large part of the book was about how you need to find company that, you know, if you're going to be like the slowest swimmer on the team, it's fine, but you're going to naturally get faster just because of the company that you keep. You know what I'm saying? Iron definitely sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And I do treat all of this as a sport as well in that way. Not necessarily like I'm competing with people, but the fact that when you're hooping with niggas that can hoop, like it's just contagious.
It's gonna naturally,
you're
gonna naturally excel.
That's been huge. And again, trying to be, you know, not trying to be, but being again a multi-hyphenate, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, I love the fact that I'm in such close proximity to so many, you know, wealths of experience and knowledge and just people that are thriving in their respective fields.
Yeah.
Again, Alex, you mentioned, shout out Alex, man. She's a large part of why, whether she knows it or not, she's sparked a lot of our shit. You know what I'm saying? Even including the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just having access to those people and certain mentors, it's like, you know, we're very coachable, and that coachability is what's going to take us to the next level. So I'm always a big proponent of, you know, leaning on my network and always trying to find like mentorship, and whoever is trying to like teach me something, I'm trying to learn it all because I'm trying to do it all.
Yeah, facts. You also collaborate with a lot of amazing people.
Hell yeah.
And you mentioned Pharrell. We gonna talk about Pharrell. So, Pharrell is also somebody that, yes, he's amazing. He does amazing things, but I feel like a lot of Pharrell's contributions have been through collaboration. Yeah. And he did an interview where he was talking about like a great collaborator versus a good collaborator, and kind of what that looks like. Because I mean, when you're performing at a high level like that, like the person you're collaborating with probably is also at a very high level. And just what that looks like in terms of, you know, being a mirror, but also being able to like step back enough to let, you know, your collaborator be comfortable to also present their best self. So like, do you feel like when collaborating with others, is it a challenge for you to kind of like step back, or do you feel like it's always love and it's more so like that mirror kind of mentality?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. So I always start with like respect. So we have to respect each other's craft at the end of the day. I think if we are in a space where we're collaborating, there has to be some type of mutual understanding, like, oh, I fuck with what you do, you fuck with what I do. And then remember that when you are in the collaborative space, because it's a reason why I sought out, you know, a project with you, whatever the project is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think when I was talking earlier about being honest and just following that, that like creative spark, that instinct that you develop over time, that's what makes it easy to make decisions. I don't really find any difficulty in collaboration at all. And the only time that I do is when I feel like I'm forcing something with someone that I'm also, you know, tolerating, or, you know, because it's not just like, oh, I'm just trying to work with the best people out. at this stage anyway. You know what I'm saying? We have the privilege of being in the era where a lot of people are doing a lot with a little. You know, there's a whole independent versus major conversation, but people are really focusing on working laterally, building those micro communities and feeding them. You know what I'm saying? So it hasn't really been a whole lot of like me trying to like reach up and like, yo, let me, get this person on this record. It's going to change my life. It's like, and I've tried that already. Lo and behold, and unbeknownst to most people, like, it just doesn't feel the same. And I really do believe in the people I have access to right now. Like, why wouldn't I just take advantage of that if I already have access to them? You know what I'm saying? So it definitely starts with a mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? And again, for me, like, I have to like you. I have to like you.
Yeah, like the vibes have to be right.
Because I don't even give a fuck how good people are at music. Like, I would like you to just be like a good person first. Right. And then if I find out that you make music, it's like, oh, this is great.
Even better.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I could give a fuck like how good you are. Again, at this stage right now, I'm not motivated by those things to where I'm desperate to attach my name to people for the sake of, oh, it's going to give more light or whatever. So, we have the opportunity to be those niggas together right now. And in 10 years, we're going to be like, damn, nigga, all them niggas been cooking up. I mean, look at our future right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I feel like we're also like at a cusp of like, not a renaissance, but like a new like generation of like greats, especially in this area too, right? And I'm not just talking about like music. I'm talking about comedy. I'm talking about art. I'm talking about like all different types of clothing. Like I feel like we're really in that space where like, there was a point in time where Martin Lawrence was a small comedian. Like there was a point in time, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a point in time where Jadakiss was just a nigga from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just really feel like we're in that space right now where we're seeing the new emergence of like what the future of art is gonna look like in 10 and 15 years. So I feel like people are really like on their shit. Like people are really coming out with like amazing stuff. Like Doechii, for example, like
I love Doechii so much.
Like everything when I tell you does, I love.
I'm buying it.
So yeah, it's just like
I would love to if somebody could give me her email so I can send some beats.
Like link us. Okay, hey girl, love you, girl. I hope to interview you one day. Facts. But yeah, so it's like as an artist yourself, and seeing that, like, I guess, how important is it for you to focus more on like, I'm making this art because I love this art versus like, I'm making this art because, I want people to see it, or I really want to be like in that space where I'm known later on in life? Like, how important is it for you?
Yeah, so it kind of again goes back to your why right in the beginning. Music is saving my life. It has saved my life on countless occasions, and I'm very aware of that. And I also started this venture as an adult with a little bit more self-awareness. Right. I would have had I, taken the same leap of faith at like 15, right? I would have different attachments to it. I'd probably have different reasons as to why I'm doing it. And yeah, everything happens for a reason. So I am still, and maybe it might be naivety, I might be green in this way, but I still believe that, if you make a great product and you consistently show up and you let God handle the fucking rest, I really do believe that it's possible. Like, I can't say that I've had my foot on the gas at all up until this point with any of this shit.
And it's just been whoop, 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 whoop.
So, and that being said, I know it's not just me.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not pressed about the speed at which it's happening or trying to, like, I don't ask people to even listen to my music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do that because I just know that whatever reach, whatever impact I have, again, at this stage, as organically as we can say it is, like that shit just feels different. And it means something to me that it's organic, that people like you just show love and support just off the strength. I don't know you from a can of paint. and you don't know us from Adam, and yet and still we connected on this appreciation for these art forms. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit feels comfortable as hell. Like I love that, and I want to continue to normalize that, like make that great again. If anything, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is easy. You know what I mean? And I also know that. Though, like as talented as I believe I am, there's immense talent. Like you said, even in just the area that we're in right now, everyone's fucking talented. Like I know I'm special in my own way, but also I'm like, nigga, I know this is it's 600 niggas sleeping on couches in LA right now that can do everything that I'm doing, and they just don't look like me. So it's gonna hit different. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I really love and enjoy music as like a video game. I'm just kind of wandering. It's like Mario 64. I'm just wandering around collecting stars. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is fun. It's fulfilling. My inner child is fucking lighting up every time I'm able to, you know, complete an idea or make a loop or write a hook or, you know, I can just listen to my homies' music. Like I just really am enjoying the fact that I'm motivated by passion right now. Just genuine appreciation for the art forms. And yeah, taking advantage of that. Because one day, if that changes, I'm going to miss the days where, I mean, that's all you hear in interviews.
I miss when it was, I miss when I ain't really had nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
I miss the struggle. I miss when,
That's what my man's with my shout out my man Fence. He was like, he just bought a fucking Benz. He's like, yeah. Man, ever since I bought this car, man, I've been complacent. Like, I need to struggle a little bit more.
I miss when I was in the cold, getting on the bus.
I'm like, yo, you ramen noodle diet for 6 months. You gonna drop weight and drop a EP, nigga.
Somebody, I was watching like an interview with it was Money Man, random Money Man.
I fuck with Money
Man. And he was walking through the streets of New York. It was this girl that was just asking them questions, and he literally spoke about how sometimes, as much money as Money Man got, sometimes he will sleep on the floor. Sometimes he will just eat ramen noodles just so that he can like continue to have that hunger and, like you said, not get too complacent. Because I feel like that's also another form of like that's like an extreme form of like not having either. Like when you have too much, sometimes you forget that like, oh, I don't have to work so hard, or I don't have to do so much. Like,
I like
so that was a cool perspective.
Shit like that. I don't feel like it's for half cap, just because. I
mean,
this is, let's keep it a stack. This is wrestling. Like I see all of this as SmackDown versus Raw. So I look at it as if they are characters, and it's about if I believe you or not. So I do believe what Money Man is saying, but I also understand that this is what they call kayfabe. Like that's like the, you know, in wrestling, like that's all of the backstory and the acting out of the characters and their motivations and shit. Like the Broadway of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I fuck with that shit. So it's like I like that he's saying something like that, because someone's gonna hear that and be like, yeah, like one, if Money Man is still humbling himself at his height. Because if you know who Money Man is, then you're probably a fan of him in some way, shape, or form. So you understand that he's done very well for himself, and even him, he's still maintaining humility in that way.
Right.
So I fuck with that. I definitely agree. I definitely feel like you can. If you don't humble yourself, life's gonna humble you.
Exactly.
And that's
a fact. Sit your ass down real quick. Okay.
That shit feels mad different. I
swear. All right, so we're gonna tap into you a little bit.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
We're gonna tap into some music, some. So first of all, Big Cozy.
What's happening?
Where'd that come from? Tell us the story at the name.
Okay, so Big Cozy came from our podcast intros. So we had the podcast Breaking Bread. It's still coming back. Don't sleep.
Okay.
It's coming back because I got some more shit to say. Please do.
We gonna stay on you.
See me outside. Niggas still be seeing us outside and like, I'm like, damn, niggas really listen to this shit.
No, but for real, like I've told you guys that, like, first of all, people talk. There's a lot of people out here talking, but are people talking about the right things? Are people talking about the right things, first of all? And like, are the people talking really representing the part of the community that one has decided I'm not going to talk because who am I talking to?
Right.
But also like these are conversations that we need to have. And I feel like, you know, y'all are part of the group of people that like aren't educated, do see the world as, you know, what the world really is, like do want to see the world in a better place, but are also just creatives in general. Like I feel like that's a different conversation than who's paying 50-50.
Yeah,
What
yo.
restaurant you like we tired of them conversations. Like, can we have some real conversations? And I just feel like y'all were talking about real things.
Yeah. And even as the pod like kind of started to take a little bit of a hiatus, we also just recognized the climate and was like, you know, there are also times where I might not need to, let me actually not say shit right now because I'm you know, especially the male podcast market. Like I'm not pressed to talk all the time because you just end up getting looped in with all of the niggas spewing, and that's one thing I was never going to do. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I do appreciate that you guys, you know, took some substance from what we were talking about and it made an impact. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to answer your question, when we started the pod, we would just fucking start talking, and if you guys go back and listen to episodes of Breaking Bread, like the early, like first, like 6 or 5 or 6, we sound the same. Like my brother and I sound a lot more similar than we are aware of.
That's true, yo.
So we just start talking, and niggas would be like, I don't know who's saying what. And even and because of how we communicate is also similar in certain ways too. Like we have our different mannerisms. And you have different cadences.
You do sound like your siblings. Cause I be listening to my brother sometimes and I'm like, damn, that sound like me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a lot of that being a twin, especially.
Yeah.
And, you know, once we said, okay, we're going to make a, you know, intentional intro, A Mike, B Mike, it just started like, okay, this is Hassan, your A Mike, a.k.a. Young Arugula, a.k.a. whatever else he wanted to say.
Yeah, I did do that.
And it was like, okay, this is your B Mike Aziz, a.k.a. Big Cozy, a.k.a. you feel me, Heineken Virus, a.k.a. Zaza Radio, a.k.a. you know what I'm saying? All type of shit.
Yeah.
So the Big Cozy was really, it kind of came out of that. And then, I just felt like in COVID again, because all this shit was happening within the same like 2 years.
Yeah.
Nigga, I was just fucking wearing a lot of sweats and like really concerned with low-key healing my nervous system.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, I'm looking back now, realizing it was just like I needed to re-baseline my emotions. My nerves. Like I just needed to kind of soothe myself in that way and comfort myself more or less. And this sounds cool. So I was just doing that. But then it started to take a meaning of its own when I realized what impact I had on my environment and the people around me.
Yeah.
Because when people are comfortable, they blossom. Like that's when you see the real them.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you see their inner child.
That's true.
Inner children can play.
That's true.
And because we shot the pod and we were like shooting the pod at the crib, having parties and shit.
Yeah.
Our spot was the spot. I'm always having all these people around. I just became
real cozy.
You know
okay.
She look
real cozy.
In the pudding, man. I don't gotta.
We was real cozy. Not in any shape or form. Whatever.
The heat was on when it's cold, and when it's hot, the AC on. We got all.
When you step foot, but that's something I can really like attest to. Like when you step foot in anything that y'all got going on, in no way, shape, or form do you feel excluded.
Facts.
I knew Hassan because I went to school with Hassan. But next thing I knew, I was friends with everybody in the room. And it's like, that's always the thing, right? Like, especially when you go to things by yourself or you're just like, you're trying to find your thing, you're trying to find community. Like, that's always nerve-wracking. Like, am I going to be the person on the side? Am I just going to be the person in the corner? Like, you don't know how to always interact with people. But like, from the second I stepped in, I was welcomed with open arms from everybody. Like, I feel like I talk to you more than I talk to Hassan.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
But it's like we all family, and I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's the goal for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like we're Africans, bro. Like we're a communal culture, so it's like that's always gonna be up front. It's like we need to make sure that everybody's taken care of.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I love that. Again, it translates. You guys feel that. That's been the intention from day
Yeah,
one. So
and it's
I'm glad to
there.
hear that.
It's there. I hope y'all can feel it from off the screen because it's giving cozy.
Y'all need to tell us more often how we're doing, man. We don't always get feedback.
It's definitely, yeah, that's true too, though. Like,
fighting to our black men. You know?
Yeah.
Fighting a war out this bitch, man.
Okay. And
but thanks for real, man.
Of course. So, y'all also grew up in Baltimore.
Yeah, so we grew up like the county over, and were raised like all of our families from Randallstown and shit. We went to high school in Carroll County, right next door.
Okay.
So like the bridge, I can get to Baltimore County in like 10 minutes. I can talk to Baltimore County low key. That's how close the shit was. We were on the line, you know what I'm saying? But we identify with the Baltimore metropolitan area, you know what I'm saying?
How do you feel like that has influenced you and like developed you as an artist, as a person? Because I mean, like, there's a lot of different groups of people there, but depending on like what side of town you from, you might see some people a little bit more. You might see this. So like, how do you feel like that has like developed you as an artist, but also like people don't realize it, but when your parents are from somewhere and you grow up in a community, then you go outside, then you gotta bring that back inside, then you gotta figure out your place. Like, you're almost in three worlds at the same time.
Mad fucking
so it's like, how do you feel like that's developed you as a person?
Yeah, so I think it was very clear to us early on, as sheltered as we were, that the world was bigger than our immediate surroundings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being a children of immigrants, you already know that, you know, the world is vast, and it's not just, you know, enough to stay in your neighborhood. Like, we're all, you know, again, as first generation, there's high expectations of us to go out from where we are and continue to, you know, conquer and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was very helpful to kind of flesh out my identity early on, was just recognizing that, I don't have to attach to Liberty High School.
Yeah.
Shit. It's like the world is huge outside of that. And then, you know, going to college, I went to Salisbury first on the Eastern Shore for my freshman year. Then I came back home, went to Howard Community College. Then I went to College Park to finish out the rest of my degree. So now I'm a Baltimore nigga in PG for the first time.
Right.
And I'm learning so much more. Like, I already met some PG niggas, some Charles County niggas that was trying to be PG niggas, which I learned about that shit too. Niggas the same Mo and Bob.
Let's clear this up right now, y'all. Baltimore is not the DMV, okay?
Why does that even have to be a part of it? Because we're gonna, all right. That's so,
PG is different from Baltimore,
because
okay?
nobody thinks that the two are the same. But this is what I'm gonna say. So the reason why the pod was really important was we wanted to bridge the gap for people like you.
Okay.
Say shit like that, because the DMV is such a small region.
It is.
To be fracturing ourselves up. I'll say yourselves. Let me not say ourselves.
Hey, I love me some Baltimore.
Hold on. Because I got to get this off. This is very, very important, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we like to complain that,
you're right.
you know,
people like to separate us, but we separate ourselves.
We show reverence to Wale for being one of the most notable artists out of our scene in our space.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like no one close to him. Like, it's just Wale.
That's true, though.
And I think that it doesn't have to be that way. And it's not for lack of talent. It's not for lack of opportunity. It's, we don't support our own like Atlanta does. We don't support our own nigga. We see what the fuck LA is doing right now.
And niggas don't even be from Atlanta for real.
They don't. They go to Atlanta to get the...
Niggas don't even be from Atlanta for real. But they be saying they from Atlanta, though.
They go to Atlanta to go get their sauce real quick. But nah, like, you see New York, right? Like, you like, not even to say that we have to make a regional sound, but it's very clear that even the Midwest too, like, they stand behind their own in that way. A unified front.
Yeah.
And as much fracturing as we do in this region, for some reason, it's just I have my theories about why that is as well. You know what I'm saying? But dog, like, we wanted to use the pod as an opportunity to shed light on other things, places, people that you might not know or associate with these areas. And again, because we're from a place where again, we're not in the city. We're a little adjacent. So I didn't build my whole identity off of where I was from.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
You couldn't.
And I had to be a lot more receptive to the environments that I started to find as I was getting older. And in appreciating those environments, my perspective was broadening. I was learning different languages. I was learning different, you know what I'm saying, methods of communication with people and different personalities and shit. Like, is if you fuck with me today, it's because I was open to all the different shit that I've been, you know, exposed to up until this point. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the pod was for. The pod was like, yo, my nigga, let's fucking stop doing that lame ass, divisive ass shit. It's not cool. It's not cute. I don't think it's funny. Like, I don't be fucking with, like, even, bro, in Nigeria, tribalism killed half of the
That's
nation.
true. That's true. And we just doing it just every day.
Just for fun. Because you like the Commanders and I like the fucking Ravens. It's like, nigga, it's not that deep. And niggas actually die and have died over separating themselves from their fucking neighbors. It's happening we in Northeast right now. It's happening outside right now.
Literally right up the street.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like just on some, and not even to be too woke, but on some conscious shit. Like, I just feel like the like propensity, the motherfucking, the thing that people have that makes them do that so often, we have to check why that is. Yeah. It's not even totally bad all the time. I'm just like, if it's not conscious, you need to be aware of why we're
why is it becoming just like a mindless, like, oh, another one,
bro,
again.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, bro, this shit. So I'm in Texas now, bro. I drove from Phoenix to Texas when I moved there. I drove 15 hours. Damn. When I got to Texas, I got to El Paso at the border after New Mexico. I still drove 8 hours to get to Dallas from there.
It's a long ass, golly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then you take the DMV is like a fucking speck of your imagination.
You can literally drive through all three cities.
And so why are we
within 1 hour?
Why would we now take a grain of salt and split it into quarters? Come on, man. It doesn't make any sense.
You right, though. You right.
From here, pop. Oh, why don't we have this? Oh,
because we don't support each other.
Nigga, we be beefing with each other over lines that we didn't even make.
That's true.
That's all I gotta say about that.
All right.
Take up too much time.
All right.
Put some respect on it.
You right.
Baltimore's called it straight out of nowhere, bro. I'm like,
but like, I don't, and then again, like, I don't know why it was presented like that our whole life.
I know why. It's respectability politics.
Like,
PG had money, DC had money. Mind you, PG and DC niggas are also fracturing themselves despite being the same group of people.
That's true.
Baltimore is just the fucking impoverished cousin that we make fun of because they're wearing hand-me-downs and shop at Foreman Mills and eating school lunch, nigga. Damn. We just are broke as a city. And y'all niggas thought it was cool to football.
And now everybody going to put money in and profit.
Man, look.
That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
Because this ain't a History Channel convo, but we gotta call a spade a spade.
Okay. Yeah, so.
Because we ain't choose it either, nigga. We ain't choose to have all our politicians rob us every. You know that this nigga, the new mayor is the first mayor that has been reelected in the city.
Hey, a black man, Westmore.
Bro, this is the first nigga that has been reelected. Is that not crazy?
That is very crazy.
Maybe in a
very crazy.
It might have happened before.
And it was a whole bridge that fell. It was a whole Yep.
Shout out all my workers at the port,
man. Anyway, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we could be here all night, so we're just gonna. Yep. All right. So, what's one thing you would tell your past self, your present self, and your future self?
One thing I would tell my past self is stop listening to everyone else so much, because you have a gut feeling that's shouting at you and you're not listening to it at all. And your future self is going to really, really wish that you fucking listen to that shit. What would I tell my present self? My present self, you're doing great, bro. You're doing the thing. You said that you was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're making your strides on your own time. You're not compromising your art. You're not compromising your vision or your values on the way. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. And I'm proud of you.
Love that.
And then future self, nigga, you're fucking lit, bro. Like, I want to be like you when I grow up, nigga. You up, my nigga. Big motion. Like, yo, what I gotta do? Yo, you hiring, my nigga? I'm trying to see, I'm trying to, yo, you do this every day? Oh, so that's what, I'm mostly just in admiration of where I see myself going, that future self. So I'm trying to walk in alignment with that version of me every day.
And since we already on the topic, I'm very big of speaking things into existence.
Absolutely.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where you see Big Cozy going? Why?
I'm very nearsighted. Like, I feel like I've kind of overcorrected a bad habit. So I did not, wasn't always super present. You know what I'm saying? They say anxiety is like, it's like you're in the future too much.
Yeah.
Depression is that you're too focused on the past.
Yep.
That's my little cocktail right there is anxiety and depression, and then you throw attention deficit in it. You know what I'm saying? So I think I have, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I have overcorrected a little bit, and I've
still got a dream though.
For sure. And it's like, but that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I'm living in it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm walking in it, and I do want to, get a little bit more like zoomed out and macro and start mapping out how, okay, I have bigger goals.
Yeah.
I have huge goals. I have dreams that I'm turning into goals. And I think right now I'm just so focused on being present that it just takes me out of that to answer those questions. But I can't answer that. So and like let's say what, like 5 years, 10 years, what are we talking?
Let's say 5. We won't go too far. I know, but we won't go too far.
All right, bet.
Because this is 4 years since COVID.
God.
And you see how much, you know what I'm saying? You see how much we done did in
you see how much hair I got now?
In 4. So let's do 5. We'll start with 5.
So in 5 years, I would love to be married. I would love to have at least 1.5 kids. 0.5? Because
on the way.
One in the possible,
Okay.
One bacon and give it a little gap so that she can rest in.
On the way.
You're going to have a big sibling to look out for. Sibling, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The twins, Nigerians just be popping out.
You got it in your family. I mean, they say it skips generations, but we'll see.
I mean, shit, nigga. Yeah, we're going to see. So, I want my, I just want my imprint and my impact to really be significant in the area and beyond. Like, I just want it to be clear that I was worried about the right things. I want it to be clear that, we went about it the right way.
Yeah.
No matter how big this gets, I know it's gonna skyrocket. But I just really want to be, I want to have clear conscience about where this is going and how I got to where I am. That's like the biggest thing is peace of mind. And yeah, man, shit. I want to be able to create on a way more consistent basis with a larger production value, because I do have that goal of I always want to create, I want to scale. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to pull off bigger and bigger expressions of all these visions that we have. So production studio, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, stream on Twitch consistently. I'm trying to, get into I already thought of my next name change. Like when I get into my little Donald Glover bag, I already know what's coming next. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in 5 years, I would love to be working for myself full time.
Yeah.
And using all of my time to build my family, immediate and extended. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. What else to talk about except for the music at this point?
Yeah, we might.
You just dropped the whole project.
Hell yeah!
It says single on Apple Music, but that's more
because all of these DSPs are fugazi, bro.
So what would you call it? An EP? Would you call it a body of work? Would you call it a?
It's definitely an EP. It's definitely an EP. I'm of the school of thought that you scale out of surplus and not just because you want to grow.
Yeah.
So dropping an album before anyone even knows who the fuck I am never was on the table.
Makes sense.
But I also did want to push myself to, again, execute an idea, organize my thoughts, just get the process of publishing music and the back end and the promo and sending your shit to a million niggas to listen to. I just wanted to start snowballing that momentum, because it is a skill to create the music as well as market it, and make sure it makes its rounds within your own power.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely an EP, a little teaser. I know it's short, guys. That means loop it, and the next one is also coming in the tuck. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the perfect amount, though.
It is. I mean, it's because I always want it to be substantial. Like, I want them to be significant. Like, my favorite song changes every day, and it's also like limiting your choices. Like, you don't have to skim through a 12-pack to still only like 4 songs. It's like, no, there's 3 very potent, very substantial offerings that still all bounce off of each other. Shout out Jay for being the only feature. My homegirl Jay the Gym, she did her thing on the last track, Make Me. Shout out Love Avenue and Sean Dream. I mentioned them earlier as some Dallas-Fort Worth producers that I've had the pleasure of collaborating with in this new season, because the tape is really like DNT is. It's about this new season in a new city. You know what I'm saying? DNT is the name of the highway out there. It's the Dallas North Tollway, and it started to take on like a meaning of its own once I thought of the concept. So I also say DNT stands for doing, not talking, and just being action oriented, because that's also a thing that I just needed to do the tape.
Action.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do what the fuck, especially as a man, like what you do and say, like how close those things are together is everything. Like, your word is fucking everything. So if your words and actions don't match, you ain't shit. Like, nobody thinks you're shit. Like, I'm gonna tell, this is me right here, you ain't shit. They not walking like they talking, they just saying it.
You heard it here first.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and all of y'all that are acting like
hey, yo. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of fun. I've had the privilege of, again, being around some creatives that know what the fuck they're doing. They know what gifts they have. Like, my favorite track right now is the second one, Glue. And shout out Sean Dream for making that sample.
Like crazy.
Because he motherfucking plays everything. And I just ended up adding my sauce. Like, when Sean sends you shit, it's already like an idea. Like, it's already so potent that you just, whatever you add is just going to be like my ghee on top. You know what I'm saying? So that's my favorite joint. And it's like the most like creative, like vocal processing that I have on the project, because I'm engineering all this shit. And that was fun to like hear my voice in that way and experiment. And, it's definitely influenced where my sound is going next.
Yeah.
And it was a cool like songwriting vibe. Like, I tend to write with a little bit more of like a freestyle. I freestyle most of what I do with intention, still punch in and still clean things up and make sure it's aligned. But it is a stream of consciousness. But with that record, Glue in particular, it was an exercise of like, how can I write a record? Like, how can I write a hook? I want the lyrics to be, again, impactful but relatable. And I want the mood to be clear.
Yeah.
I want all these things to align and not just show niggas that I can rap or show niggas that I can fucking make beats. It's like,
put a whole project together.
Bro, you like that shit. That shit was fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel that one the most.
For sure.
Out of the 3. It's like, it's very dramatic, but it's like a movie.
It takes up a lot of space. Even though it's not long, it takes up a lot of space. It feels like it's something that like is an hour project.
Yeah, nah, for sure. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to loop.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel good. I want you to be able to play it all day, no matter what you're doing, morning, noon, or night. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I low-key feel like, you know what's crazy? It kind of plays like a morning, noon, and night.
It does.
Raining is
Raining.
like morning. You know what I'm saying?
I love that song.
And then Make Me is like like almost like Sneaky Link vibes, like, or you just on a mission, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted parts of that record to relate to like both sexes, like, of, I wanted women to hear certain lines and feel empowered, like, like, you must be feeling yourself. Left them hating assholes, start healing yourself.
Okay.
Post some that reels of yourself. Make sure they see it. This is my favorite show. Now I'm talking like, I love seeing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm talking to niggas too. Like, when you start talking shit as a nigga, it's like, like, nigga, in the chat, you was chatting the baddest. When you see me keep minding your manners, I'm like talking shit. Like, niggas not fucking with me, and they keep on talking that shit. Just like Radiant. Like, Radiant was like, they're not walking like they talking. It's like, I'm just again, just challenging that
Yeah.
masculine side too. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of, it feels like morning, noon, and night. So yeah, play that shit at all hours of the day, and it's gonna hit.
Hey, with that being said, hey, we ain't talking no more. Y'all go stream that. Listen to all of Big Cozy's music. Go ahead, tell them, are you working on some new things? Got some new things coming out.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
It's already on the way, so
Valentine's Day.
for that. Yeah, I'm a lover boy, man. I'm trying to get into my little emo bag a little bit more.
All y'all need to get on y'all lover boy shit, because what is going on?
Yeah, all of this.
Is romance dead?
All of this, bitches ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, nonsense.
Y'all know y'all want to get married. Y'all know y'all want somebody. Like, let's stop it. Let's cut it out.
I seen something that's at the wedding I just went to on Friday. I already seen the play lining up.
Like,
I seen a couple franchise. Look, we're gonna talk about that after we get off here.
Let's cut it out. Get back on y'all lover boy. Let's bring the romance back. Thank you. Hey, we trying to be soft and we trying to be. Hey, don't let no woman tell you that they don't want to be submissive, because they do. But it's natural. Okay? It's very natural. With that being said, we out of here.
The lights is already.
Thank you so much to my friend.
This is the post show. Big K, Big Cozy.
Post show interview. We did another one.
Look, DNT out everywhere. Go stream that.
Stream that.
Shit coming.
Stream that.
Be yourself and be the biggest version of yourself, man.
Always.
Hell yeah.
Thank y'all.
She don't even know I'm about to podcast the show and be like her guest little host. When you running and gunning in the city, nigga, when you come out to Texas, nigga, the fucking Dallas edition of the post show, we gave K the motherfucking week off, nigga. I'm running this bitch.
Okay.
What DFW talking about?
Okay.
Biggest.
Oh, I love you.
What's up, y'all? I love you too, short.
Favorite. Long as you rolling, I'm okay with it. Just keep on rolling, need a J with it. This your favorite shit, shawty, keep on playing it. Just keep playing it, I'ma keep on paying it. This your favorite shit, I'ma keep on playing it. This your favorite shit, shawty, keep on shaking it. Just keep shaking it, shawty, keep on shaking it. Just keep shaking it, shawty, keep on shaking it. Just keep shaking